Y'all, I dropped the ball earlier today and I did not know. I didn't even realize it until like half an hour ago. But I had a field orientation, like for my field placement. Orientation little Zoom meeting at noon today. We signed up for our times, like there's two options. This is why it's okay. Like spoiler, it's okay. But we signed up for our times, it was probably like 2.5 weeks ago. They sent an email and then it was like right after you signed up for which meeting option you wanted, then they sent the Zoom link right after that. And so I put it on my calendar, but like I haven't been really looking at my calendar since I don't have a lot going on. So that was at noon today. Never once crossed my mind until like 2:30 or so. But good news was that the options were either noon today or 5 p.m. today. So I signed up for the one at 5 p.m. which is much less convenient because Zach gets done at 5 and then comes home after that. But honestly, by the time he gets home, it'll just be like, I don't know, maybe half an hour more of my meeting. So good thing that I picked the earlier of the two to miss, because I think that probably would have been a big deal had I just like absolutely missed it altogether. This is not the way that we need to start the grad school career. This is not it. I am getting ready to go work out right now. I think my brain needs it. I'm gonna try to do a Sydney Cummings video. I have talked about it in a recent vlogs, but basically sometimes in the gym I have no service, and so then I can't like load YouTube videos because I have no service. But last time I went, I was able to. Like it went just fine. It didn't even have to I didn't have to wait for it to load or anything. Like it did just fine. So I'm hoping that that's the case again. My goal is to do Sydney Cummings. If not, I'll just do like some weights, my own, you know, come up with my own moves, whatever. And then do 12-3-30 on the treadmill, 12 incline, 3 mile/hour speed, 30 minutes. And I always bring my book whenever I do that, so I can just read. And I'm reading Malibu Rising right now, and it is very good. I'm having to like read it slow because I don't want to finish it too fast. Like I want to be in this world that it has created.
Where do the clouds go, baby? I don't know. Maybe.
I went to get the mail and I got a cute postcard from my sister. It says, "Hello from Rocky Mountain National Park. I drove up with our cousin and her friend. We went to a travel center above 12,000 feet. In between that, the windy roads and the nasty bathroom pit, I almost bombed." That's the postcard. No, that was cute though. Fun to be thought of. I have 5 minutes right now until my meeting starts. I keep checking the clock. Nervous. Because as you know, I already missed one.
Counting the grains of sand upon the beach. Somehow that number is always out of reach. How can I tell you the way you make me feel? All of my thoughts begin and end with you. All of my thoughts begin and end with you.
Hello, happy first day of class. My first day of grad school is today. Like my actual classes are happening tonight, so it is officially the school year. Obviously this school year looks a little bit different for me. I'm doing online school, which means I've been doing all of my classwork for the past week, but I have my first like synchronous online classes today. I have one class from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and then one class from 8:15 to 9:45 p.m. So both of my classes are on Tuesday. We do 8-week session through my school, Fordham University, and so I have 2 classes at a time, and then in October I'll take 2 more classes. So still like 4 class semester, just they're kind of sped up to be all into 8 weeks. As I know I've showed you, I have my little schedule for the day. I started at 8 a.m., which I was really glad. That's the earliest I've started the past couple of days. I keep getting late starts to my day, so like we're off on a good foot. I'm feeling good today. But 8 to 8:45 I finished up my classwork, which is all of it that's due today, so that feels good to be done. 8:45 to 9 I worked on some like interview content for an interview I have on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. And then from 9 to 9:30, I started doing a training for a therapy technique type that the juvenile detention center that I'll be interning at uses, just so I can like know it, that I can have a good foot through the door as I start in a couple weeks. And so then I've been taking a break since then. I'm about to get ready to get going. My last couple videos have kind of talked about this, but I'm really working on creating a schedule, creating a routine for myself, because with online school, obviously I need to have some discipline to do things. And also I just find that my days feel a lot better if I I work through the day and then kind of take the night off to rest. So I'm treating myself as if I have a job, doing a little like 8 to 4, 8 to 5, who are we kidding, 8 to 3 work day. And I have found that that has been good for me so far on the days that I can stick to it, but it is also very hard to stick to it sometimes. Today's been good though. So the rest of the day, just the overview is I'm going to, well, okay. So I said at 10 I was gonna keep working on my classwork, but now I'm done. So I may just keep doing the training of the therapy that I was talking about. And then at 11, I have to call someone from my internship just to kind of work out, I don't know, like if I have to do anything more to get cleared to start. I think we'll talk about like start date and schedule. Then I'll have a lunch break. I'll spend some time planning like YouTube things. I'm going to work more on the interview that I have on Thursday just so I don't feel that stressed about it, you know? Then we also have like workouts planned, and obviously, like I said, today's the first day of class. We have classes tonight. Okay, very important. Let me put you on Live Body Green's Superfoods powder. This video has nothing to do with them. Like, it's not sponsored or anything. This was gifted a while ago for a review in a different video back in like May, but I use this probably like twice a week. I used to make their juice every single day, but I've kind of chilled from that now, but it's just green powder. And so like you can put it in smoothies, smoothie bowls. This sounds like it's sponsored. Really, I just like it. But there is a link down below if you want to go get some. But I have the peach mango flavor, so it tastes delicious. It has no artificial flavoring. And it's just a blend of like wheatgrass powder, spirulina, chlorella, matcha, moringa, turmeric. Like it's basically everything you could ever want, all in a little powder. And so like I said, you can put it in smoothies and stuff. I just like to make little like green juice out of it, just mixing it up with water. Ready? Just makes for a little healthy treat, you know? I do not know why, but every time I get off an important call as a 21-year-old in 2021, I always say, all right, bye-bye. And then afterwards I hang up and bye-bye, bye-bye. But the call went well. There's so much like registration and stuff to do for my internship. Like obviously it's a detention center, like secure facility, so that makes sense. But then also just like through the schools, knowing what trainings I need to do, different orientations, just the whole shebang. So that was, I called and she was like registering me for an identification number for the Department of Juvenile Justice. And then I should be receiving that in a few hours, and when I receive that, I'll call her back. There's a lot to be done, but it'll be worth it once it happens. And I'll be starting the week of the 13th. I think I thought that I would be starting next week. Will not be. Week of the 13th. And she was very kind, seemed very excited that I was coming. I feel very excited that I'm going, so. I finished my therapy training and I called back my internship coordinator to like see what was going on with that, and they're in the middle of a retirement party, so I will be calling back later as to not disrupt the celebrations. But right now it is, let's see, 1:30. I had lunch a little bit ago. I just air fried some potatoes. It was really good. It's about 1:30. I'm calling back at 2:30. Usually I go work out at 3, so I assume I'll still be able to do that, but I kind of am just planning on reading until I call her back.
In my world, don't worry, darling, I just smile, 'cause you're by my side. And now your eyes open up every morning.
3 o'clock has been my time to go work out, and right now it is exactly 3 o'clock on the dot, and I just feel exhausted. Like, I'm sure I'll go soon. I'm gonna go soon. That's my promise to myself. But I guess just laying on the couch reading, sitting at my desk doing classwork, sitting on the floor answering YouTube emails, like that's physically exhausting, you know? I was just doing a workout on the floor over here. And the power. I feel like I don't even need to tell you anymore. I feel like you can just see that for yourself. At least it's like daytime, but honestly it's like it's stormy outside, but it's not storming. Like it's like rainy at the most, like a dark rainy. I'm gonna need this to get fixed because remember I have class tonight and that relies on Wi-Fi. Puts a bit of a damper in the day. The power is still out, so my no-cook dinner, wait, that's my plate. So my no-cook dinner will be some tortillas, some peanut butter, and honey. I really, like, I'll show you even. Do you see that? Like, it's rainy, sure, but it is not. Wow, that was like a horror movie there for a second. But it is not storming. There was like a little bit of commotion whenever the power first went out, and so I think that like it is building wide. Like, I checked our breakers, they're all fine. Really, any other day this would be okay, but right now my phone is on like 8%, and there's about an hour and a half until my fully online classes start. I'm trying to come up with like a plan B in my head for like if our power was still out by then. than what I would do because like I very much need Wi-Fi to do 3 hours of Zoom. And even I think my computer needs to charge too. But as of right now, I don't have a plan B. Zach and Jason should get home in like 15-20 minutes though, so I don't know what they'd be able to fix, but maybe they'd be able to fix something. It is 5:15, still no word on the power. I just don't get why. Like our fridge is turned off, stove's turned off, our AC's turned off. It's a good thing it's not hot, but out of all of the things that I thought were gonna stress me today, this was not one that I was planning. Oh, what a beautiful day. It's back on. I just spent the past 20 minutes, guys, I did not need to show you because I started to like start getting worried because it's 45 minutes now until my classes are supposed to start. Spent the past 45 minutes literally calling like every coffee shop in town because either they're closed, like they're the kind of coffee shops that close at like 3, or their Starbucks and their indoor seating isn't available. I called like 3 different Paneras, 2 Caldis, all of them had like altered hours for COVID. Then when it said on their sites, they're all gonna close before my classes got done, but the power is on, my phone is plugged in. I guess the power man just wanted to spark a little adrenaline into me, just for fun, just for funsies. Now I don't even know, like what am I supposed to do with myself until class? So I think my plan is to turn my little nightstand, because you can't see it, my little nightstand and just like a sitting desk, because I'm gonna do my first class just from this room, so Zach and Jason don't have to worry about being silent and whatever as I'm in class. And then my second later class, whenever like they're gonna be winding down, like getting for bed, whatever, then I'll do that one from my desk up in the loft. And that way I'll have like a separation between classes. But this nightstand's like perfect height for having a little sit desk. You're looking at a grad student. Well, in 29 minutes, you'll be looking at a grad student. Exciting. I'm doing it. I'm officially joining my first grad school class.
I could not wait to show you I cherish all your lines. And after all this time,
9:45, second class of the night, done. No, yeah, so classes went well. I have the strongest urge to like organize my Google Calendar and my agenda right now that I have due dates and assignments all figured out, but there's no reason for me to do that. At 9:47 p.m. I can go to bed. I'll just do it tomorrow morning. My power did go off twice during classes, once per class, but just like a flicker, like just enough to be annoying, just enough to disconnect me from the class, so I'd have to like wait for the Wi-Fi to start back up again and go back in. Out of all of the struggles that I thought that I would be getting during my first day of class, that was not it, but both professors seemed cool, both like groups of students seemed cool. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but also I'm taking a communities and a policy class right now, and those are the 2 parts of social work that I'm least excited about. Like I'm getting my least exciting classes to me out of the way first, which I think is a good idea. At first I was kind of unsure if it was a good idea or a bad idea, but I think it's a good idea because I'll just be done with them. And really, like, both the classes will be interesting. I just have to challenge myself to stay engaged since they're not the topics that I would typically go into, but they both kind of have like big overarching projects, assignments type things. But for my communities class, we're like picking a social problem, going super in depth, like describing the social problem, who it affects, how it affects them, why it affects them, etc. And then creating a program to alleviate said problem. And so like creating the program design, like, and even just like going into detail of like how it'll be staffed, how it'll be budgeted, like which people will it serve, what do you need, like go like the whole shebang, creating this entire social service organization to the point of like grant writing, like doing literally everything to the point that like at the end of the class it'd be like you could just like go out and like start that program, like it's supposed to be at that level. So like that's cool. Like it's not my thing, but it's cool to do. So I think it'll end up being cool. And then for my policy class, we have various like policy briefs we have to do where you just like learn everything about a policy. We have like policy proposals we need to write. So again, it's like cool things, just not my thing, but like it'll be good for the class and I'm sure I'll learn and it'll give me that skill so that down the road I can use it as I need it. But yeah, they are the 2 like little domains, I guess, that I am least excited about, very much so. I'm exhausted. I'm definitely going to make a little like to-do list for tomorrow on my phone before I go to sleep so that my brain can rest, you know, and I can wake up tomorrow and kind of know what's going on. But I'm also going to read a little bit more of Malibu Rising before I go to bed. I know I've already said this, but it's a really good book. I don't know if I can finish tonight, but it's kind of my goal to finish tonight. Good Good morning. Happy Wednesday. There's like 12 kids outside my window right now waiting for the high school bus, and it's making me just a little bit cinty. I woke up this morning feeling like I had been run over by a truck, which for what? I really don't know. I was just groggy, whole body stiff, a little bit stuffy. So we're getting a slower start in the morning, which I feel like I keep saying we're getting a slower start. Like this has happened like maybe for the past week. And so maybe one day I just have to realize that my mornings are meant to start at like 9 or 10 a.m. I'll be organizing my life today a little bit now that I know all of the assignments, you know, like I talked about yesterday. Just gonna kind of figure out what I need to do when. It's kind of a mental switch, I think, for me to moving into like this style of classwork, because whenever I did online classes at Alabama the past like 2 years, they would be asynchronous, and so I would just have to like slowly work through the things. And so it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna read like this textbook chapter, read this article, write this discussion post, do this paper, you know, like it'd be very like, okay, do this and then this and then this. And the way that these are structured, obviously, as you know, it's like much more self-paced, just having like one weekly due date essentially for when the modules have to be done by, but the overarching like projects and stuff are happening at the exact same times. And so I'm so used to being like, oh, like I'm doing with this one thing and then this one thing, and now it's like I have to figure out a way for them to like all coexist at the same time and still not let anything slip through the cracks. But I'm sure I'll get used to it. It'll just be like a little bit of a learning curve, you know. And then I have some trainings to do for my internship. It looks like just like various HIPAA policy, like that kind of things that I just have to like read over. Maybe there's some videos, etc. to finish, and then just like a little bit of YouTube work too. With my upload schedule, I'm supposed to have a video coming out tomorrow, and I don't know yet which video that will be. Maybe it'll be this one. If you see me on Thursday, hey. Man, I wonder what time this bus is supposed to come. If you haven't been following me for a while, then you wouldn't know this, but if you watched my videos like last semester back when I was still at Bama, I used to work from 4 to 8 a.m. every single morning. Like I would wake up at 3:30 a.m., get going on the day, and now it's here like almost 9 o'clock and I don't think I can be awake. Oh, how the times have changed. The bus is here. They're all getting on. Ah, high school. I was just thinking about this on my walk back up here up the spiral staircase, but yesterday obviously it was the first day of classes, so we had to do like first day introductions and stuff. And in social work, basically almost every introduction, like they ask like what's like the social issues that you're passionate about, like why you want to do social work. And for as much as I talk about social work on this channel, I don't know if I've really talked about that. I know I've talked about how I want to do micro social work. Micro is one-on-one or like with a family, like, you know, just like the intimate setting. Meso is more like neighborhood, community, like different organizations like that. So like you'd still obviously like have the one-on-one people, but it's more organizing at a bit of a more zoomed out level than like just the individual and family. And then macro social work is like the overarching like policy, like countrywide issues type things that like obviously each level is so important because each of the levels like affect people. For instance, like if I want to do micro, then I can see like how macro level policies or like neighborhood community resources can like affect them, and you know, they all work together. But personally, I really like micro, but within that, I'm really passionate about the education system. So as you know, probably, maybe, if not, go watch the video. It's one of my most popular ones. But I was a school social work intern for my BSW in 2 elementary schools. We split time between 2 elementary schools. But even before that, most of my like volunteer experience has been in schools, especially at the elementary school level. So I've tutored, I've volunteered, as you know now I've like taught just a little bit. And then I did the school social work internship. So I've always been passionate about schools. And so the like social issues that I'm very interested in is like education inequalities, especially when it comes to various levels of income and the, you know, disparities that come within the education system for people who make different amounts of money. And then also I'm very passionate about immigrants and refugees, both just like as a whole, but then if we're gonna like really zoom in on how our education system welcomes immigrants and refugees, because there's often big gaps there as well. I just think education is such an important thing and such a special thing if you do have access to it, and it really is like what can springboard somebody into being able to do what they want to do with their life, whatever that may be, and just being able to interact with people and interact with the world. Education is super important. So I don't know if I'd have talked about that before, but that's kind of like my dream job. Like it's something with that. Like I'd love to be a school social worker, or if it's like a program that's within a school. But as you may know too, like I'm about to intern at a juvenile detention center with youth up to 21 years old. So maybe my passions are about to change. We'll see, because that's a very different internship than like what I'm used to and what my experience is in. Oh my goodness, 2 hours later and I have finally come up with a system I think that makes sense to me, looks good to me, works for me. And so I made a Word document. I put I know you can't really see it, but I put all of the dates. Like these are just dates going down, and then some of the days I have classes, and I put all of the readings I need to do and all the assignments I need to do and when they're due by. This is literally just schoolwork for the next 8 weeks is what all of these are. It's lots of readings, lots of assignments, lots of discussions. I feel like there's a belief, an assumption sometimes that online school, like an online degree program, is easier, and looking at this right now, this looks like a whole lot of work. Which I knew, like I wasn't expecting it to be easy, but it is a whole lot of work. And so I'm gonna take a little brain break. My eyes are already starting to hurt from looking at the screen, and it is 11:02 a.m. And then afterwards, I'm gonna come on back, start putting like YouTube things and just like other life things into this daily little calendar list too, so I can just see it all together. And then maybe after that, I'll actually start like getting to do the work today, like knocking out some of the readings and such. Oh my goodness. I am about to be heading to Walmart to get some protein for Zach because I don't have at our usual Kroger. And as I was leaving, I realized that the last time I left was Sunday and today's Wednesday. So I guess that's kind of the dangers of online school, is literally just being at home, existing at home. Good thing I like it at home. Good thing I'm a homebody. Oops, I did it again. No, today there's a light breeze in the air. It's like 80 instead of 95 degrees, you know? So the start of fall is kind of here. But I did a grande pumpkin cream cold brew, but instead of vanilla syrup, no vanilla syrup, 1 pump of sugar-free vanilla and 1 pump of their like apple, what is it? Apple brown sugar syrup, that one. And she's really good. It tastes like the regular pumpkin cream cold brew, but like with a little bit more of the fall-y taste, you know, because the apple too. I've consumed it far too fast and the caffeine is already going straight to my head, but I have to do a lot of work, so that's probably the way to be. Little grocery haul. It's not at all a full trip, but got the protein. That's really why I went, is Zach, I guess, needed new protein, ran out. Season's about to start. Got some trail mix, just have an easy snack. Cheerios, Rice Chex, potatoes, body armors, because there was a coupon on them, so that convinced me. Blueberries, strawberries, a couple bananas, salsa, and chips, which will probably last Zach 1 single sit down, and then my emotional support chocolate. After I get this all put away, time to sit right back down at the desk, get going. My head is buzzing. I think I really did drink that caffeine way too fast, especially for like not having a super full stomach. So we'll see how much I can crank out. Let's see how fast these little typey fingers can move. Okay, low-key, I really like this setup right here. I feel like I need to film more videos. I'm just sitting on the top of the stairs, but it has been 3 hours since you have seen me last, which is the longest stretch of work that I've done yet, which I think is good because I think that's showing that I'm getting like back into the back to school mindset of things, you know what I mean? So I started doing the reading for next week's communities class, and then I also did some like organization with a group meeting that I have tonight at 8:30 p.m. I like made the Zoom call, made sure everyone was on the same page, you know? And I also planned for YouTube, so I'm just like planning what I'm getting up when, how I'm doing that, the videos that I want to do. So really good stretch of work, and honestly I feel like I could keep going, but I want to get my workout in before Zach gets home tonight so that like he doesn't get home for the day and then I just like leave to go work out. So I'm gonna go work out. My plan is to lift and then to go take a walk because it has ended up being a beautiful day today. It was supposed to rain, and honestly with my luck it'll probably start raining as soon as I want to go walk, but we'll hope not. This is the workout outfit of the day. If you've been on my channel, you've definitely seen it before.
You're a masterpiece. My clothes look real good on your t-shirt with the rainbow stripe. And our time is a luxury. Oh, so sweet your company. Let's get each other up to speed. I can see the vista of your hills, and a silhouette up on the still. Dolly brush stroke with the canvas gem.